Figuras, ¿cómo están? Buenas tardes, días o noches, dependiendo cómo nos están escuchando. Me da un gusto decirles que estoy otra vez aquí en Anaheim, en United Soccer Convention, y vamos a platicar con una persona que se acercó con nosotros aquí al booth y nos comenta que tiene muchos latinos en su college. Y él está pegado a México, del lado de Chihuahua, por El Paso, en Alpine. Y ahorita nos va a decir, él es John Dominguez. John, por favor, dinos en inglés. Vamos a empezar en inglés. Yo en Spanglish, él en inglés. Y nos va a empezar a decir toda la información. Y de repente yo le hacer cosas en español para que puedan entender ustedes. Pero vamos a empezar en inglés. John, thank you being here. Please, the first question. Where is the college? Near where?
The college is 2 hours away from El Paso, Texas. Like you said, it's about 3 hours from Chihuahua, the border of Mexico, allí en Ciudad Juárez. It's in Alpine, Texas, so, it's out in West Texas. Probably say, maybe southwest Texas. It's in the Big Bend region, so where there's a lot of mountains in Texas, that's where our university is located at.
The name of the university is?
The name of the university is Sul State University. That's SULROSS, and then state, and then university is a state school in the state of Texas. And yes,
This is a junior college, right?
no, it's a 4-year institution,
Yes,
university.
it's a 4-year.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we were talking yesterday, right? That did you have a lot of Latinos?
Yes.
Why? Why do you have a lot of Latinos? Because of near Mexico, or why?
The big reason why I have a lot of Hispanics on my team is because our university is, I want to say, 40% Hispanic. Hasta presidente es hispano. The president's Hispanic as well. 99% of my team currently right now are all Hispanics. I only have one player that's not a Hispanic. And the main reason why I choose to get players is because the location it's attractive for us Hispanics to go to university that it's our raza, right, our people. Another thing I want to mention too is I myself, right, I'm a Hispanic, right, as you can see the shirt, right, si se puede, all that stuff, but
Nice.
so I definitely want to help my cultura, right, to help us get those kids to be able to dream big dreams so they can live big dreams, so pueden soñar grandes sueños para vivirlos, como yo, right. So that's kind of the main logistics why my team is heavily Hispanic, is because the location of the area, and then also how close we are to other Hispanic community cities around that area, right? But like I mentioned, is the university itself does have a big Latino student body, and also the city of Alpine as well.
Nice. So, John, you will tell me, like, yourself, dream big. Why, like, yourself? What have you lived? What is your past that give us that information? Like myself, dream big. Why?
Okay, so the reason why I tell people to dream big, right? So you can live big, dream big dreams, so you can live big dreams, is just a little bit history about myself. Is I was raised by a single mother. I was the first generation, so I was that first kid in my family to graduate from a 4-year institution. As far as that is, it's been an obstacle every day, seeing my mom wake up early mornings, go work multiple shifts, to be able to put food on the table for my brother and I. So through the obstacles in life, my mom taught us from a very, very young age que pues tengas a soñar grandes sueños, right? And she never I'll put it like this, we all have, una mamá pues Latina, right? Que ponte las pilas, So that's something that she
With
taught.
the chancla.
Yeah, with the chancla. Yeah, with the chancla, But as far as that is, just a little bit about my story is I'm from Katy, Texas, raised in Katy, Texas. I went to go play junior college for 2 years, and then I transferred out to Sul Ross, and I played my last 2 years there, and I got my bachelor's degree there. Like I mentioned earlier, is I was that first person in my family that graduated through college, right? And then after that, it just became a whole trickle effect. But I wanted to break that statistic in my family, right? I mean, my grandpa will work for 45 years on the railroad tracks. That's the thing he was doing. I have tios that were trabajar haciendo techa, right? I have aunts that clean houses and all that. So I wanted to be a part of something past that. And I mean, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, the best way I can put it is no matter what you go through in life, it becomes very, very hard. But there's moments in life where, I mean, que sí se puede, right? You can do it, right?
Yeah, of course, of course.
But that's a little bit about.
Okay, perfect. So right now you're in the coaching, right? In men's soccer or women's soccer. You're the head coach?
Yes, I'm the head coach.
How many girls do you have?
I have currently a roster of 28 girls on the team.
Okay, and you have also men's soccer, right?
Yeah, we have men's soccer there too.
And what division are you?
We are Division II NCAA.
NCAA. You get scholarship, right?
Yes, we get scholarships.
Okay, perfect. You're the head coach of the women. What are you looking in a player for your team? First of all, what style of soccer do you like? Are you looking for? You're playing.
Okay, the style of soccer I like, and I'll say in Spanish first, is mi abuelo siempre me dijo que tengas cuando pases balón cosas pasan. All right, so we like sharing the ball. We like touching the ball. Everybody gets a chance in the progression of the attack to get to have their ball at their feet. We love having those opportunities where we have 1 versus 1s. And we like taking on players, or como decimos en el equipo de nosotros, is when you have a 1v1, llévale pa la baile, take her to the 15, go have fun, llévala pa acá, right? We play with the very, very free, libre, we enjoy as como debe de ser fútbol.
Yeah,
right?
Having fun, more Latino style.
Yes.
Okay, nice. So you have 28, right? Tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
28.
Now the first question I asked you before. What will be the perfect player for you? The type of player you're looking for?
So the number one thing I look for in the quality of player is the passion. Okay, pasión. If la niña puede sudar la playa, that's what I look for. I mean, I'm a big Chivas fan, right? So that's something that was preaching to me para siempre, right? Is tengas a sudar la playa, tengas a sudar la playa. So I look for passion. That's number one. And then number two is I look for that enjoyment, having fun, enjoying it, right? Because I think that's when us soccer players play the best we can play. And then number three is I look for a player that's able to forget quickly, okay? So, for example, is if they make a mistake, ya pasó, it's over. And then they go to the next play, right? Very, very short memory, because in the college game it's I'll probably say a good 80% mental, right? You have to know how to make a mistake and get over it, because you still have 80 minutes to play. You still have all these other games to play, right? So especially here in the US, it's very, very tough for players to play in the US, because it's very, very direct, very, very fast, right? And then on top of that, you have to worry about passing your classes, right? So little things like that. That's the top three things I look for: is passion. Number two is being able to play free, right? And then number three is being able to be forgetful quickly.
Oh, perfect. So I have to tell you, this academy began about 8 years ago as a goalkeeper academy. Right now we're pushing 300 goalkeepers in the academy. And I have to ask you, goalkeepers are like a little bit crazy. We have different personality than the field players. What are you looking in your goalkeepers? And I have to ask you, women goalkeeper has grew a lot in the States in the past years. I have seen a lot of good goalkeepers here in the States, better than in Mexico, I have to say. What are you looking in a goalkeeper if you want to recruit her?
No fear. Que miedo no fear. All right. As a goalkeeper, I strongly believe that a keeper job is obviously to prevent goals from happening, right? But another keeper's job is that 18-yard box, esa es tu casa. That's your house, right? Protect it, right? So, no, que juega sin miedo, right? That's the number one thing I look for in a goalie, because if they have that, everything else becomes easy, right? And then another thing I look for in a goalkeeper now in this generation of talent is the goalies have to know how to play with their feet. You know, they have to know how to play out the back and touch and move and all that stuff, receive it from their center backs. They have to be that, because ese es el juego hoy. That's the game now, right? And then the third thing is I need a keeper that's a leader, right? And I told my team all the time. There's only one player on the field that can overrule Coach Dominguez's decision, and that's the goalkeeper, la portera. Why? Because she sees the field like this when I'm seeing it like this, right? She gets to see everything.
Okay.
I don't get to see that, right? I mean, I wish I can coach from behind the goal, right? You know, but as far as that is I have a lot of trust in my goalkeepers on the field, because they see what coach doesn't see, right? But if they stay quiet, if they stay shy, if they stay scared and they don't want to open their mouth to say something, you know, then it's very, very tough for them to, you know, tell their defender to drop back and get a clean sheet and all that. So, yeah, that's the top three things I look for in a goalie.
Do you see the height?
Height as well, right?
Yeah, height.
But I mean, I put
Latinas,
yeah,
and Latinos, we are small.
Yeah, and I have had an amazing goalkeeper that she wasn't that tall, man, pero es como un gata, boom, 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 you know.
And she had the balls, as we say in Mexico.
No, ella no tenía nada de miedo. I mean, estaba de Chihuahua, de Juárez,
nice.
right? You know, she didn't have no fear.
Nice.
But I mean, as far as that is that's the big thing. Like, if you ever watch our games, and when there's 1v1s, my keepers, you're gonna see them coming out, boom, 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 because they know how important that is. That this is my box, you know. This is what I want to do. I want to protect, you know, this house. But yes, height is one of them, right? But that's not something I specifically look at. If puede jugar, juega, right? You know.
Yes, of course.
But you know, height, and then another thing is one thing that I forgot to mention earlier is with goalkeepers is this is number one for me for goalkeepers before miedo, before the having no fear, is they have to forget. They have to forget. You get scored on
the error,
boom,
or the goal.
Pasó. Right. You getting mad, haciéndote enojar, no va a cambiar 1-0. No, you have to forget, because on my recruiting trails, I have seen some, like you said, there is a lot of amazing goalkeepers here in the U.S. I have seen some amazing porteras here. Calidad. Get scored on. Cabeza para abajo.
They lower their head.
Lower their head, right? And it's very, very hard for them.
Yeah.
You know, and then next goal happens, you know, right? You can't have that, especially in the college level, you know. It's back to my rules as who I want on my team is they got to be able to forget. But I go ahead and let you know is that number one rule for a goalie is they got to be able to forget quickly, because they're going to get scored on. You know, it happens.
Yes,
you know?
It's soccer.
Yeah, you know, it's soccer. And then, you know, and in America, the U.S. style of play, you know, con Americanos, it's very, very direct. They want to go to goal. Every single play is go to goal, or look for a corner, get the goal. They don't calm it down that much, right? Some teams in the U.S., some collegiate teams in the U.S. do calm the play down. They touch and all this, but most of the teams is direct.
Like English way.
English way, in a way.
Yeah, like Premier.
Yeah, like the Prem, you know.
Okay.
And that's something you have to know how to control the chaos, right?
Okay.
You know, control the loconess in el juego.
So you were talking right now about recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
How do you recruit? You go to ID camps? Do you have agencies? Did you made ID camps? Where is if a Mexican guy from Chihuahua, Monterrey, Tampico, closest to the border, want to be seen by you, how do you make your recruiting process?
I do everything. Okay, I'm not a coach that just focuses on agencies, ID camps. I do everything. I'm the type of coach that will hop in the car and go drive the 10 hours to go see a player. That's me, right?
But how do you see or learn from that player? Somebody told you.
Yes. Either somebody told me or they send me an email, right? They contacted the university. Every coach has their email on their soccer website, right? Say John Dominguez, right? John.Dominguez@solross.edu, right? Go ahead, send an email. ¿Cómo estás, Profe Dominguez, right? My name is so-and-so. This is where I play at, right? Here's my film, right? A couple clips of them playing, this and that. I would love to get on the phone call with you if you're interested, right? I look it on from my computer, boom, 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 right? I always make sure to find some way to go see them, preferably in person.
Okay.
Now, if it's a big trip, and say if it's an international, right, and they're very, very far away, hey, send me a full game. Because what I realized with recruiting is that when somebody sends their highlight reels, it's all their best plays, right?
Yes, it's the best of the best.
The best. And I personally think that true colors are shown when nobody's watching, right? When they don't think the coach is in the stand, they're the way they are. Because on film they can look great. Now I don't tell them I'm coming to the game, right? Boom, I see this girl screaming at her teammates, getting mad, right? Hey, go back home. I give her a call. Hey, I got to see you play on this game. And she's like, oh.
She realized that it was bad.
So, it's opportunities and stuff like that. But, that's what I do. But I would highly suggest for everybody, listening in on this podcast, is pues quitar el miedo to email a coach. Email them in Spanish. It's okay.
In Spanish, too.
Yeah, you can do Spanish, English. We got Google Translate, right?
Yeah, it's here.
Yeah, and if a coach really wants you, they will make it happen, right? There's nothing that a couple words in another language will prevent a coach to not get you to their university if you're a really good person and a good player, right?
Okay, and if they don't have a very good English, what happens? If you have a good player, she or he is a good player, what happens? I don't have a good English, coach. What am I going to do?
I'll put it like this. I have this girl from El Paso, okay? But her whole life she grew up in Chihuahua, okay? Her English is very, very little, okay? But she is currently going to her junior year in college at Sul Ross, all right? So she's about to finish 3 years here, okay? We have tests they have to take, okay? A placement test for English, right, math, all that stuff, and then a TOEFL, right? They have to meet a certain requirement, saying they can speak English back, right? So as far as that is the luxury we have at our university is if they don't speak English that well and it's just enough to get them by, and have a conversation, right? Is like I said earlier at the beginning, is our university is 40% Latinos, right? Our president is un Latino, right? El profe es un Latino, So the teammates that speak better English, right? Because they grew up longer in the States and they went through all the school system in the U.S. and they're bilingual, like me, is they're able to help their teammates, right? I mean, that girl, that girl on my team has a her first season she had a very low GPA, right? And now she's like 5th on my team for the highest GPA.
Right now is speaking good in English.
Good
really?
English.
How he get extra hours of English or classes or just practice?
So what I told her, right? I was like, how do you get better at stuff? How do you get better at shooting? How do you get better on attacking? How you get better? How you get strong? I practice, coach. Tengo práctica.
Yeah,
So
but
she goes to class and
she has a special English class
yeah,
for
yeah,
his
yeah.
level.
Yeah, so she has not as far as special English class, where they help them get better in English because that's what they have to. I'm pretty sure. I think they got classes in that for high school, right? But we don't have like a class where it just helps her talk better in English. But we do have a class that's called public speaking, okay? And it's one of the requirements you need on your degree to get a degree at SO Ross, right? And in that class you have to talk in front of the whole class, right? So that's and then you're also always talking that class in your little groups, right? So that's how she was able to get better, is just by the day-to-day classes there at SO Ross, because they're all taught in English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There are no special classes for
No.
for guys or
Yeah.
girls
Yeah.
that. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Nice. So, John, what do you recommend to the girls or the boys that want to hear more about your program, the opportunities they may have? What do you recommend to do besides email you? You already told us that email is going to be a good communication. What else do you recommend?
I highly recommend is for them to put themselves out there, okay? To go to an ID camp.
I
Right?
can.
Yeah, go to an ID camp.
By the area that you like, or
Yes.
just go to one.
So it all depends in what the kid wants and what the recruit wants. Do they want to go to a school that's out in West Texas? Do they want to go to a school that's in California? Right? Where do they want to go? Okay,
And then find an
and
ID
then
camp there.
find a school that has an ID camp coming up, right? Show up to the ID camp. How you doing? My name is so and so, right? This is the grade I am, and then show up, right? Little things like that. So that's that. Other than emailing, that's something I would suggest is show up in person.
Nice,
right?
perfect.
But make sure that you know it's an ID camp coming up, or you have already talked with the coaches and they're expecting you to come. Just don't show up just to show up, right? So make sure that your ducks are all in line, so you have when you do show up, they're expecting you, right? The university is expecting you. So what I would suggest to do, say you want to go to an ID camp, right?
Yes.
Hey, Coach Dominguez, how you doing? You have an ID camp February 5th. My name is so-and-so. I will be attending this ID camp. I'm looking forward to meeting you. I'm looking forward for you to see me play at your ID camp. So now us coaches, we see on our email, and then, hey, man, look, tell my assistant, make sure when this girl gets here, we take a look at her. All right? Aquí. She's from Monterrey. Right? Juega bien. Let's take a look. She comes, boom. ¿Cómo está? Right?
It's better.
It's better, right? Because now they already know who you are before you even show up to shake their hand.
Perfect. And another question, the economics. How expensive is the school?
So our school is listed roughly at 18,000. Okay,
18,000 a year.
Yeah, 18,000 a year. We are one of the most affordable schools in the state of Texas. So one of them. So, like I mentioned, we are one of the most affordable. All right. So it's a lot more convenient for kids that don't have a big budget, right, to go to these big fancy schools and all that. I mean, SO Ross is the perfect place for you.
And you have scholarship, right?
Yes.
You are Division 2?
Yeah, Division 2.
Which conference, or how do you say it?
Yeah, so I'll put it like this: we just got approved to go Division 2. We just played our last season this past fall, Division 3. Division 3 NCAA can't offer no scholarships, right? Now we're Division 2 NCAA in the Lone Star Conference, which is one of the toughest, one of the hardest conferences in the nation. Okay,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
For both men's and women's. Okay, for both men's soccer and women's soccer. The Lone Star, arguably is one of the toughest conferences in the whole nation.
I didn't know that. Wow, nice. I didn't know. So, okay, now you're going to have scholarship. How many scholarships you can give and how is distributed? How did you distribute?
So the way the scholarship system works, every school is different than others, right? So I mean, as far as you can give out partial, right? So say we want to pay for this girl's for her housing, for her dorms, right? We want to pay for this girl's tuition, So it just depends what the head coach wants to offer that player, And then it also goes off of how much can the player afford out of pocket, There's also opportunities where if the player is good enough, we pay for everything, full ride, right? Te pagamos todo, right?
But I don't know. I'm new at this kind of way, but you have you can give, I don't know, 9 full rides and nothing else. So you have to divide the full rides, right? You have a budget.
Yes.
$10 and you have to divide it in your team, in the whole team.
If you want to do that,
you can give it all to
So say I have $10, right? And then I want to give these 2 kids, right? $5. Boom, boom. Rest of the kids on the team, they don't get nothing. Okay, So it's a budget, like you were saying, right? For Division 2, it's fully funded is 9.9. Okay,
9.9.
Yeah, for women's soccer. Yeah, for women's.
9 out of 28.
Yes, well that we can get. It's 9.9 scholarships. All right, so depending how much the school costs, that's depending how much the schools cost, that's how much money the school.
If the schools it costs $10, it's gonna be $90. No.
Yes.
No, yes, it's gonna be $90.
Yes, $90. Yes, perfect.
And $90
I can split it
in different ways.
In different ways. I can give this girl $2. I can give this girl $1. I can pay for this player's tuition, right? I can pay for this player's dorms, right?
And this is food for this, or
and
books for this.
Yeah, books, all that stuff. So say I do want to give a girl a full ride, I'm able to do that, right? If I wanted to, So it just all depends to the head coach, what they want to give to that player.
Okay, perfectly explained.
Yeah,
it's clear. So John, I think that everything is clear. We understand perfectly. In all our podcasts, I do a little game at the end of the podcast.
Okay.
The main idea is I'm going to tell you something. You have to tell me the first thing that comes in mind.
Sounds good.
Okay. The first question or thing is going to be the past of John.
The past of John.
El pasado.
Optimistic.
And the present?
The present is fearless.
The future
is composed.
Your mentor?
My mom.
Nice. Your inspiration?
Mi mamá.
La jefa siempre está.
Sí, la jefa.
For you, it will be football or soccer?
Fútbol, como la camisa.
Nice. Pelé o Maradona?
Maradona.
Messi o Cristiano?
Cristiano.
El mejor delantero de la historia.
El mejor delantero de todo.
Every time.
That's a hard one. I would have, para mí, el mismo, right? CR7,
Cristiano, nice. If you were a pro right now, which team you would like to play?
Chivas.
All right.
Claro que
Chivas.
Sí, puro Chivas.
And if you were the pro right now, which coach do you like to be your coach?
Marcelo Bielsa.
Bielsa, nice. Adidas or Nike?
Nike.
Back in the 90s in the MLS, when a game tied, getting in the draw, they went to shootouts. Remember?
Yes.
Okay. If you have the possibility to choose one, penalties or shootouts to decide a game?
Como fútbol debe de jugar penales.
Penales.
PKs. Yeah.
PKs, okay, perfect. If you're in the World Cup and you're in the final, you have to decide one of two. Win 1-0 or win in penalty shots.
1-0.
1-0. For you, You already told us. A good goalkeeper, we have good in the feet or good in the air. You tell me good in the feet.
Yeah, good in the feet.
Right now, your best advice for a 16, 17 girl boy, go to the career of professional soccer or student athlete?
See, that's a very delicate question, but I would say go get your degree first.
And then go to the
and then
draft.
go pro. Yeah, if you got the chance to get the degree to have something to fall back on, get your degree.
Nice. Thank you, John. Thank you for your time. I think it was enriquecedor. Where can the people, the fans can find you, email you, give us your social media and everything?
Okay, so y'all can find me on the platform X, or used to be called Twitter, right? X, at Coach Dominguez 7. And then we also have our team Instagram, which is SRSUW Soccer. All right. If you want to email me, look up on Sul State University Women's Soccer, and then just click on Go to Coaches, and then you will see John Dominguez, and my email will pop up there. But to give you my email now, it is john.dominguez@sulross.edu.
Perfect, John. It was amazing having you. I think that maybe you're going to get some emails over there.
I agree.
Thank you for your time. Muchas gracias. Figuras, nos vemos en el siguiente episodio. Y todas las dudas y preguntas, tienen su correo, sus redes sociales, su Twitter o su ex. Y mándenlo ahí a nosotros y a él también. Y estamos a sus órdenes y nos vemos en el siguiente episodio. Saludos. Gracias, John.
Gracias.